Hey guys. Hey guys. Oh my goodness. I haven't sung that in a long time. Let me do it again. Hey guys. Hey guys. Welcome to another episode of Hello World with your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. Oh my goodness, it's been a long time since we've had a little formal sit down, and not only just a formal sit down, but we've had a guest on the show. This is actually going to be the first guest since our celebration of 1,000 episodes. And I'm excited. You want to know why I'm excited? Okay, I'll tell you. I'm so excited because the guest that we have on this tonight's episode is none other than Dr. Tina Ramsay. And I met her on Shop Bob. And Shop Bob is a platform where they have entrepreneurs, African American and Latino entrepreneurs that come on and talk about their business. And she happened to be rapping the last episode of Shop Bob, and I was just like, wow, this is great. And you guys know all of this was happening all like systematically, right? So Hello World was hitting its 1,000. So I was like, what am I going to do now? Then the podcasting pretty much opened up more doors. At first, I was like, yeah, whatever. But after hearing her interview on Shop Bob and speaking to her personally, I decided to join the CTR Media Network. And Hello World now can be seen on that platform. There's going to be pre-recorded episodes. There will be live episodes, but all just my voice. And the other cool thing about it is Dr. Ramsay is definitely all about homeschooling. If you guys are interested in homeschooling, teaching, and then also if you are interested in having your own podcast, she's going to give us the lowdown on that. So, I hope everybody had a beautiful day. Hey, Charlene. Hey, Kim Boy. How you doing? We have a member. We have a member, and it's Brooklyn NY, BK, BKNY, BKNY. Listen, let me just say Brooklyn NY boy. It used to sing nice, but now I have to practice just saying, now it's BKNY. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't have the extended, I have to make it up, make it work. Hey Wiley Hustle, hey girl, how you doing? I'm so glad you guys are here. You are in for a treat for sure. So before I bring her up, feel free to like, subscribe, and share to Be the Difference Clothing. Definitely check out the merch. Definitely listen close because this is something that we all can learn from. And trust me, whenever I talk to Dr. Ramsay, I learn something new all of the time. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to just have her come on up and just share all of her knowledge and her wisdom with us about everything that she does, right? CTR Media Network is one aspect of Dr. Ramsay, but there are other aspects that we're going to get to know more of. And I'm sure I'm going to be surprised with something new as well. If you guys, hey, OG Brand, how you doing? Good to see you. If you have any questions, please put question marks before and after so that I can highlight them so she can answer them for you, okay? Hopefully, we have a good time. And before I bring her up, let me just. We have a member. Nope. We got two members. And it's Life with Nicole, Marie, and Gary. So, hey, Jay talking in his house. Hey, pal, pal. Definitely, guys, go to CTR Media Network. There are so many other podcasters on there too, and a variety, not only Hello World, but there's a variety of other types of podcasting. So please go check that out. So, in the meantime, between time, before I speak a little too much, I'm going to have none other than Dr. Tina Ramsay grace us with her inspiration. So, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming on.
Hello, I am happy, so elated to be here with you, my dear. I love what you do. I love your positivity. And I'm representing for Be the Difference
Hey.
Clothing, okay? Let's use social media for positivity. My favorite shirt.
Thank you. So
So I
tell
love
us,
it.
what got you started in media itself and then homeschooling?
Well, I what got me started was that I wanted to help people, okay? But I really wasn't thinking of it when I first started doing social media in 2009. I wasn't thinking about making a business of it. I was just simply sharing information, could being a homeschooler, and I knew a lot of different things. And I went to school for special needs education. So I always had the desire and to help the ones who couldn't speak for themselves. I became the voice for the voiceless. So even at the age of 17, I was working for the University of South Carolina Extension Program to help underprivileged students from kindergarten to 12th grade, tutoring them, going in the neighborhoods that no one wanted to go in. So I always had that mindset to serve. And then social media came along and I really didn't like it that much, to be honest with you. I was like, "Ooh, I don't know. This look kind of dark. I don't know. It's a lot of little knit going on here." But that was a way that I could get to more people. And so I just started using it, never really thought about it. People start following me, start supporting me, and it kind of grew. And then I had a little hiatus and people kept writing like, "Where are you? We need your help." And so I end up coming back. And so that's pretty much how it happened. I just want to be a source of support and information for ones who felt like they didn't have anyone, especially dealing with homeschooling.
Mhm. So, do all of your children, actually, do you have any children? And if so, are they all homeschooled and have they always been homeschooled?
I have two children, and no, they have not always been homeschooled. I have a boy and a girl. My I pulled my children out of school. My son was in second grade, and my daughter was in the fourth grade. Now, the reason why, now, mind you, I come from an educational background. Let me back up a little bit. I was the girl that they called in to because I worked for the public school system as a behavior specialist. So I help children combat their behavior in a positive, productive way, assisting them in their classes, working with their parents and the school system in order to make a more enjoyable learning environment for the children that they deemed as behavior problem children, which I did not like the term. However, um, that was the term back in the day for that. And so um, I always work with children that had special needs. And I never really thought that I would be a homeschooler. That never ran across my mind. All my life, I wanted to be a teacher. I became a teacher. So I just never thought about that. And really, when I first heard the term homeschooling, I thought it was a little weird. I was like, homeschool? I mean, why would you ever? Like, really? And then fast forward, I have a child that is what they call medical sensitive. So my son, which is my baby, he has multiple health problems and learning differences. He has autism, he has dyslexia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia. I mean, he has a gamut of different things that's he has challenges with, right? And so he got really, really ill. And my mom came to me and said, "Tina, you've been teaching everybody children for I don't know how long. You need to just teach your children at home." I was like, "I don't know. I don't know if I can do that." She's like, "You've been teaching children for I don't know how long. What you mean you can't do it?" So I ended up just taking the plunge and finding out what the requirements were. And that's when I started homeschooling I pulled out my son, and then my daughter said, "Well, if my brother's not there, I don't want to be there either." And I'm like, "Oh, here we go." So now I have to figure out how to homeschool too. But then that ended up being one of the best decisions I ever made because it actually helped me discover myself during the journey. Okay. It was a lot of things that I did not understand about myself growing up, with the way that I learned, that actually in my love to help my children, it actually birthed some things inside of me that I didn't know, and actually enabled me to be able to help the parents and children even more so, because I was at home and I was able to do more, be more of service.
So we have a question. Will she go through what the requirements are?
Requirements for homeschooling?
I guess it's, did you go through the requirements for doing a homeschooling?
Oh, yes, you have to.
Mhm.
Okay, this is it. I do not, because I am a homeschooling consultant, I do not consult individuals on state to state requirements, because each state is a little bit different. So I'll just give it a little small overview. We have like maybe 4 categories that falls into the homeschooling, right? We have mild, we have moderate, and we have strict. And so if you're in a moderate state, that's pretty much you pretty much can homeschool. You don't have any oversight dealing with the school system or the school district. You can homeschool. You don't have to do any reporting. Then you have moderate states where you do have to do reporting. You do have to report to your school district. You do have to turn in grades and all that different stuff like that. And then you have what they call strict states, where you have to do all that, plus have a facilitator come in your home to test and do different things in the home as your child is being homeschooled, along with mandating standardized testing. I live in South Carolina, which is a moderate state, which means I do have to have accountability for my children, do a journal, record keeping, report cards, and be up under a homeschool association, which is a organization or association that makes you legal to be able to homeschool your children. And the requirement usually is the same from state to state, that you at least have to have a high school diploma or a GED in order to homeschool your children. Now, you can have higher education than that. We have people with PhDs, doctorates, and all that stuff like that, but you don't have to have it. You can, as long as you have a GED or a high school diploma in most states, if not, unless something changed recently, you will be able to homeschool your children. And then you need to also do research on what your particular state requires you to do in order to be legal.
That I did not know. So that's
Mm-hmm.
like really cool to understand.
Mm-hmm.
So being that you have to report, like how
Mm-hmm.
often do they come? Like, do they come every marking period, or do they also
In
inspect?
South Carolina, they don't do that. So what happens is we have, just like with public school, you have quarterly reporting. We have to do our report cards. We have to have our lesson plans. In the case with me, I have an IEP, which is an itemized education plan for my child, because he falls up in the special needs category. And terminology is very, very important. Even though I particularly do not care for the term special needs, however, the state recognized that as a special need. And if I, as a parent, want to have the services available for my child that falls up under that criteria, if I use a term, which I use this term of learning differences, because I feel that it's just simply a learning difference. The state, the world is based on one type of learning style, which is left brain learning. So if you're anything outside of the lines, you can't color outside the lines with the educational system. Okay, you have to sit down, you have to be studious, you have to do your paperwork. Well, it's more kids in the United States and around the world that can't learn that way. They have to move. They call them hybrid. They say they got ADHD. No, the child just need to move to learn. That's how they learn. Okay, but the school system is not conducive to facilitating education for children that are active. So I know that for me, we have to do the reporting. We have to do it on a quarterly basis, or at the end of the year, do all our reporting, turn in our paperwork. If you are requesting to get certain help from the state in regards to your children, if you want to have them have occupational therapy, if you want them to have speech therapy, if you want them to have a tutor, all these different kind of things falls up under that. And you have to be classified right, or you won't be able to get assistance, because under the No Child Left Behind Act, we can get it. We pay taxes, okay? We pay taxes. So if you know the law, they can't tell you no. If you know how to maneuver the law, if you know how to maneuver and you know what services are available for you, they can't tell you no. My children can go out and be on band, football team, cheerleader, take them out there, go to A-Tech, and go out there just to take that course, and then come back and be homeschooled the rest of the day. There's so many different things. We have charter schools too that your child can go for a couple of hours and come back and then do the rest at home. It's the sky's the limit now in regards to homeschooling. And you don't have to do it by yourself. You can actually homeschool without teaching your child one subject.
Really? How do you do that?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. But they got to
No.
They have to join the network. No? Oh, okay.
Listen, I did tell everyone how to do it. We actually have a homeschooling magazine called the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine, and it's over on Amazon. And I am telling them how to do all of that and more. If they are
magazine, y'all.
Yeah, I'm telling you how to do all of that. And we have our own lawyer on the team that can answer your questions as well. Because a lot of parents find themselves not in line with the law. And it can cause a situation where you could be truant, where your children missing too many days out of school, and you can fall up under CPS, Child Protective Services. And some people have actually lost their children because they didn't understand the law of properly removing their children from school with legal documentation. They didn't understand that, yes, it's my child, but your child is a number in the school system, which means it has to be accounted for, which means that it is a dollar amount attached to each child. And when that child has special needs, that money doubles or sometimes triple, and they don't want to lose that money. So you have to make sure that you go through the right protocols so that you and your family will be safe. And so that's why we have, with the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine, we cover homeschooling, business, wellness, life, mental health, and support and resources, all, and legal help, all in that magazine, so that our readers, our supporters will have everything covered in regards to homeschooling or any part of your life, because our lawyer actually, she does a lot of different things that can help you so you can be safe on all that type of things.
Well, BKNY posted the link for the Amazon magazine, so you can go and grab that. We have one comment, the real Kima Kayor. Hey, girl, that's true. My son has autism, mild to moderate, and I homeschool, and now he's returning back to school for the 10th grade year. So that's crazy. Hi, everybody coming in. This is Dr. Tina Ramsay. So now that we know a little bit about that, tell us about this podcast and how did you dive in?
Okay, this is what happened. Okay, everything that I pretty much did, I call it a happenstance. Okay, because I didn't really anticipate anything to go from it. I just did it because I wanted to help. I am really into health and wellness, and so many people, they saw my story and know my journey, that I had a stroke at the age of 25 years old that left me partially paralyzed. And I literally lost a whole year of my life. I had amnesia. I was a new mom. My daughter was only 6 months old at the time. And I even forgot that I had her. I had no connection with my newborn baby. And I literally forgot everyone other than my mom, dad, God, husband. Those were the only people that I remembered. And everything else, it was a blur. Even my closest friends, I did not remember who they were. And I couldn't walk. And my body was deformed and all the different stuff like that after you have a stroke. And I had it in my sleep. It was not painful. It was a regular day. I went to sleep. And then I woke up the next day and I couldn't move the bottom extremities. I couldn't move my legs. I couldn't feel, and I didn't remember who I was. And dumbfounded in the medical industry, they just didn't know what to do with me. all the tests came back normal, that I had A1 health, but literally they see this girl in front of them and I just can't move my legs. I don't remember my name. It was just a really, really terrible, terrible situation that taught me a lot. That's why I'm so, I'm really so conscious of being so thankful that I'm still here, and I'm not going to get emotional. And I'm so thankful that most of my memory came back. Now I can walk again. And so I decided to use my voice in order to tell people my journey, because they saw me in wheelchairs and walking. I'm like, how in the world is she walking and she talking and her arm is not like this anymore? Her mouth is not slumped. And I started telling them about my health and wellness journey, chemical-based, chemical-free products and all that stuff like that. And I just went and Spotify actually reached out to me back in the day and said, we heard, do a podcast. And I was like, I don't know about no podcast. So I had my little rinky-dink cell phone. I went, I just started, talking. I'm like, oh, they can let you add music. So I add music to it. And then I let a couple people listen to it. They was like, that sounds good. And I was like, okay. So I did the episodes, walked away from it, never thought about it again. Life carry on, homeschooling, being a wife, being a mom, being a friend, helping the community. And all of a sudden I'm seeing the numbers just going up. And they're like, where is she? Where is that oil lady? Where is that natural wellness lady? Where is that one? And I'm like, I really want to hear this country Southern twang woman. You really want to hear me? And so basically that's how it happened. And then when the pandemic happened, it pushed me back into the podcasting realm, because I went to radio, I went to TV, and I dropped podcasting altogether. And the pandemic happened, and I had to figure out, oh my goodness, how I'm going to get to all my clients and customers, how I'm going to still be able to help, because the pandemic, I can't go to the events. All the events and school functions been canceled. So how can I still help? That's when I went back into podcasting. And that's how the network and everything start coming, and starting new podcasts, start producing other people's podcasts behind the scenes, working for TV networks behind the scenes, and didn't want anybody to know. I just like to be incognito and do my job, And they start figuring out, wait a minute, they start connecting. That's what I meant. You produce this? You developed this show? You did? I'm like, yeah. Well, you do it for me? I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I just finally decided to do it after years of people wanting me to do it for them.
That's cool. Did you have HBP, and what was your lifestyle like before the stroke, sis?
Oh no, I did not have HBP. My life. This is the kicker. This is why the medical industry was so dumbfounded with me, because I was healthy. I don't smoke. I never smoked. I could count on one hand how many alcoholic beverages I had, because I really don't like the taste of alcohol. Okay. I'm naturally bubbly, right? So I don't really need anything to make me excited. It calms me down, right? So I could count on one hand. I'm like, okay, so I don't drink, I don't do recreational drugs, I don't even smoke cigarettes, I don't do any of the things that the medical industry say don't do, right? But I do what they say do. Eat fresh fruits and vegetables. I jog 10 miles a day. I ate lean meat. I prefer fresh fruits and vegetables. It's hard for me to balance the protein right. So sometimes I have to have some little lean meat just to balance it off right. But I did all the things that they told me to do. I don't know how I had a stroke. Okay. It didn't make any sense. And the only thing that I could find that I was not doing, that the medical field or health books never tell you about, is that as women, or as people in general, we need to be mindful of the products that we use in and on our bodies, our cleaning products, our feminine hygiene products, our makeup, our hair, all these things, our cleaning supplies. We need to be mindful of what we have in and around and on our bodies. Okay. I made sure on the health perspective, I did everything right. But on dealing with my household and the cleaning supplies and the stuff that go in and on my body, I didn't know to look for that most of that stuff is chemical based. And let me tell you, my whole house was filled up with it. And when I removed all that, I call it detox my house, my health started
Wow.
changing. My health did a
Wow.
complete 360.
Wow.
And that's why they were so shocked. I never been overweight. Never been overweight. I always kept my weight, never BM, everything picture perfect. Blood pressure 120/80 on the dot. 120/80. They was like, dog, I ain't never seen nobody have blood pressure this good. Wait a minute, all your tests is coming. I mean, it's like perfect. I'm like, I'm not perfect, but I work hard on it. So it didn't make sense. The only thing that I was not doing was watching the products that was in and around my body. Hair shampoo, lipstick, makeup, clothes detergent, dish detergent, things to clean your floor. I didn't know to not do that.
And
I
you
did.
know, I've become so sensitive to like detergents. Like it was crazy because I used to be able to use all of the big name brands, right? It had all the nice potpourri scents. But one time I used it and I had to rewash all of my linen and the hypoallergenic stuff, the baby stuff, because it literally made me sick.
Yeah.
Like I was having like sinus infection after sinus infection. And then when I put two and two together, it was that. So like, guys, please be mindful of what you keep. Just because it smells good doesn't mean that it was created from a good smelling source.
Yeah.
And just because, you know what I'm saying, just because it's good on your kitchen surface doesn't mean that it's good to absorb in your fingers. Wear gloves or maybe a mask or maybe just use some natural stuff. Like you can probably clean your house a lot better with some lime and lemon than you can with like a bottle of, something else.
Vinegar. It don't smell good, but it cleans. It cleans
But
very,
it's not
very well.
harmful for the soul or the body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's so dope. I mean, like, it's unfortunate that you had to go through that, but now that's a testimony for somebody that's in the chat that may have not even known that. And now they can look and reevaluate what's in their home and what they're using so that if maybe they can prevent, maybe if they have children or a spouse or somebody who has low immune system, because we're talking about somebody that had no health issues. Well, imagine if you already have an immune compromised situation and you're using all of these things consistently day in and day out. That was dope. I mean, like, I'm sorry.
Well, I did have some health, quote unquote. I was diagnosed with asthma when I was a young girl, but I wasn't having any trouble with it. Okay. And so, and every now and then, if I get into situations where people have on heavy perfume or cologne or different stuff, it will aggravate me and it will cause what they call bronchial spasms.
Okay.
But other than that, I was very sensitive to different smells, just like you was mentioning too. But for the most part, I was that girl that even the teachers growing up in school, teachers came to me for advice about health and wellness because they knew I was very conscious of what I put in my body dealing with food. All right. Dealing with food. Because in the health journals, they tell you to watch your diet, watch the intake, balance off the carb, balance. I did that. But they never told me in none of those health journals to watch the chemicals that come in your house.
So,
and which I never knew.
What made you, as a person growing up, become so health conscious? Because that's not something that you just automatically want to do. Something had to be inside of you to just say, you know what, I want to take this health and wellness journey. Not people just don't do that by, whatever.
My mom. Growing up, I used to always see her eat, be very, very modest in her eating. And she would even if she overindulged in some things, but she called overindulging having 2 pieces of cake instead of 1. But she was very mindful of that, and she would exercise, and she would make it fun for me. So she would we had an exercise little room. It wasn't nothing big or anything. It was just an exercise bike, a little bit of hand weights. And I thought my mom was like she still is the most amazing person ever. And I to see her, and my mom had that shape that women go out and buy. Like they go out and buy that shape. Okay. So I was like, I can't, when I grow up, I want to look just like my mom. And I would see her work and exercise. And when anytime we were sick, or even my grandma, when we were sick, they would go out in the garden and pull mint. They were like, what's wrong? Oh, will she have a stuffy nose? Oh, let me go get this mint. Let me go do this and let me go do that. And we would just use a lot of natural health remedies. I didn't know there was natural health remedies. I thought everybody did that, right? And so it was just basically, I grew up with it. Yeah. So it was my mom.
So how do you manage the podcast? Is there a monthly subscription fee? How does it work? Introduce CTR Media Network. She about to pull it right up, y'all.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, so how do I manage podcasts? Yes, it is a monthly fee because we do everything pretty much for you. And then we coach you and help you with monetization. We teach you. We have community. We get you out there because the CTR Media Network has 350 million reach. We reach 350 million homes worldwide. Everyone think that's such a big number, but I have a goal of 1 billion. So that's really, I'm blessed and we blessed and I'm thankful, but I have a goal of 1 billion homes. Okay. And so the reason why I started, because like I said before, I have been behind the scenes for a while with TV, podcasting, radio, right? And my husband and I had our own show called The Ramsey Show, worldwide radio. And I saw how everyday people doing extraordinary things got mistreated. Small business owners that just looking for an avenue to share their mission, their message to the world, their products and services, because they know what they have can benefit you at the end of the day. But then they have to fight against the large conglomerates that have enormous budget for advertisement. The average small business do not have that type of revenue waiting to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on to be able to get leverage and positioning and placement and visibility. Okay. And so I used to see so many great people with wonderful hearts getting turned away because of money. And so it just really started pulling at my heart. And I was afraid. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was afraid, even though I helped build other platforms, but I never wanted to do one myself because I knew it'd take a lot to do it. And I really was afraid to have everyone depending on myself and my team, which I didn't have a team then. I have a team now to build this, right? But God said different. And all of 2021, I started building the platform by myself. And then slowly but surely, I was able to bring in more people in order to assist and help. As soon as I was about to get to that level where I was like, I'm going to give up. I can't do this. This is too hard. Then more people came. And now we have a complete team. We will be getting some more people soon because it's just still getting too big. But I'm just saying what made me do it was because I wanted to have a safe haven place for content creators where they own their own content, where they can have complete 100% monetization, where they know their information. We're doing everything working for them to get their information out to millions, using my resources, being in the industry to leverage and position them faster and quicker, enabling their message to get to more people because they can get in quicker with me because I put in the hard work, even if you're a beginner. I put in the hard work. I use my name to get you in there. Okay, because somebody have to let you in. You can't. It's sad to say, no matter how talented or wonderful you are, it doesn't matter in this industry or most industries. Someone has to open their hand to you.
It's who you
and bring you in. And I saw so many times where people got help and they got in, and then they get absent-minded, forget where they came from. I never want to forget where I came from. I never want to forget how hard it was for me just to get people to speak my name and know that I stand for this and don't come to me with that mess over there, right? It took me a lot because I went against the grain. I didn't go along with everyone and what they were doing with social media. So therefore they was like, oh, well, she's not going to do this right here because da 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 da. Sure not. Not if it means taking advantage of people. Not if it means lying to people. Not if it means that I can't look at myself in the mirror and I got to answer to God for what I do. No, sir. No, ma'am. I just take me longer to do what I need to do because I'm not doing no tricks and games. I'm not going to do it. And so basically that's why I started it. And then it just grew, and then wonderful people like Joy came, and I mean, they making not the part of the podcast, they making it very easy because they bring out the amazing content, and we're just so grateful that they're here with us. And we don't accept everyone because they have to be positivity. Positivity.
Here's a question. How do you handle copyright issues with podcasts?
With copyright, I don't even worry about that because each individual, well, I do worry about it because that's why I have a copyright lawyer. Let me scratch that. I have a copyright lawyer on my team. But each individual podcaster is responsible for their content. And we have a disclaimer or a clause where we're not held liable for if they're using copyrighted information, because there's no possible way that we can listen to every single podcast on every single podcast episode that airs, because we have people like the amazing Joy and Queen Candy and some other ones that, I mean, they be pumping out episode almost every other day. Like we can, ain't no possible way that we can keep up with all of that. So for us with CTR, we have that little disclaimer or disclosure for us, but we let them know that you do not supposed to use other people's copyrighted materials. There are many different businesses, softwares. You can get music for free. You can buy membership and be able to use music. But you do have to get permission from the owners. So it's basically on the content creator to make sure that they falls within the parameters of that. Now, if we get a strike, meaning a copyright strike, and they're making aware to us that someone on our platform is using someone else's material, then we, as a network, we don't want no problem. So we will remove that episode off of our platform. Now, we can't control all the other platforms that it's on, but as for CTR, we can take that particular copyright strike episode or episodes off our network in order to protect the intellectual property of someone else, and also protect the network so that we won't lose the network because of someone want to use somebody else's stuff, which is not right. So if we know about it, someone write us about it, we will remove it, especially if you didn't agree to it and you can prove that it's your content.
That's great because, it's definitely, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of issues with that, just in general, because I can only imagine there's tons of people who are out there who don't want to do the work. And, they'll steal taglines here and there. Then some people will just take the whole thing and just be like, that's theirs. You know what I mean? I don't know, but it's definitely good that you do have all your bases is covered. And that's why I really like being on the network because the simple fact of your integrity, that's what really got me to want to sign up, because of the integrity, because of it's kind of like we run on a similar path. Again, It was divine. I feel like it was divinely divine connection. Like, who would have known? Shop Bob, you know what I mean?
I know, right?
Like, you just don't know, guys, who you may meet and at what time. It just ends up working out for your path. You know what I mean? Maybe podcasting isn't your path. Maybe you might want to be a guest. If somebody wants to be a guest on your show, how can they go about doing that?
Well, not just my show, because it's so many other podcasts that's on the network. If they want to be a guest, they just go over to CTR. They go to that particular podcaster's website that's on the website, and they send in a contact request form. And then once we get it, we will send that to that podcast host. And then that podcast host will take it from there, and they will let you know what the requirements are for you to be a guest on their show or advertise on their show, all of which is 100% their business. The only thing that we care about on CTR, number one, don't be using other people's stuff. Number two, making sure that you pay your monthly so we can keep everything operative and working. So once you pay your monthly, then any monetization that you get outside of that, it's yours. We don't want it. We want to build legacy, want to build financial stability. And you can't do that in this economy if everyone taking a piece of that particular slice of the pie. That part of the pie is yours.
Right. I get it. Do you help? Another question. This is from Minister Terry. Do you help a person be on more than one podcast platform, such as Anchor, Apple, Stitch, or Google Podcast?
Yes, we do. We do have. It comes with the basic package where we do distribution for you. But we also have a more extensive package, and that's where we have to hire in some other people on our team that specialize in that. If you want to get more extensive, but that automatically, by just being on the platform itself, it actually opens you up, because the Tina Ramsay Show and Podcast is a 5-star rated TV and podcast show. And we ranked number 3 on the top 100 podcasters. So what we did, because I was literally going to retire from podcasting and TV, I was like, no, I'm just going. But again, the people came and they was like, no, we still want to, the show. So I said, well, how can I use all these years of building my credibility and influence within health and wellness, within homeschooling, within broadcasting? How can I use it in a way that will position, elevate, and leverage a person who just started, or they may have already had a podcast and just don't have that much reach? How can I do it? And so I decided to take my podcast off this independent website and put it on CTR. So the only place other than the other podcasting platforms that's out there that you can listen to the Tina Ramsay Show is on CTR. So by default, people who come to see the Tina Ramsay Show, they can see all these other podcasters. And we're going to be nosy. This is to keep it real. It's going to be like Pearl Shea on 227. You're going to start picking around, trying to see what's going on. And that's what we want you to do, and see how amazing all these other podcasters are. So we love our audience. We love our support following. We have amazing people that follow our show. But we put it there so that you all can benefit from the blood, sweat, and tears it took for us to build and grow our IMDb TV and podcast show.
Let me ask you this. So I know if somebody here is interested in becoming a podcaster, I know you have different packages. I know you can teach people how to be a podcast. Can you just go in a little bit on that, on how they can do that if they wanted to get any of those services? You don't have to tell them the cost, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, they can literally go to the website. They can go to the website, CTR Media Network, hit the store, and they'll be able to see what we have. Way more things that we're offering for ones who do want to do the whole gamut. They want to start a web TV show and they want to do a podcast. We have an 8-week course for that. But we also have just our regular learn how to start a podcast and monetize it class right now. And we're running a good special. I mean, normally all of that is like, and I hate to put numbers out there, but it's usually like $4.97. But we're just doing it for $97 to get as many people in. And you're in there for a lifetime. It's not like you're in there just for a year or so. You're in there for a lifetime to allow more people to be able to come in, because we know how the economy is. And we want to still provide you with the same, you're getting the same course that the people who paid the $4.97 got. They're gonna be like, what? I should have waited about 2-3 months. You're getting the exact same 21 video course that they actually got as well, along with all the updates that came along after that process actually happened. Because our goal is to help position 100 podcasters, which those 100 turn to 1,000, and those 1,000 turn to our ultimate goal, which is impacting the world with 1 million impactful, positive podcasters to permeate the earth with positivity. And we can't do that by ourselves. So we have to teach a small number, and then that group go out and share, and then it grows, and then it grows, and then little old Dr. Tina Ramsey go somewhere and just be back and go and let you guys do what all y'all want to do. And I can just like, follow, share, get on him like, hey, go check them out. Which I prefer anyway.
I know that's right. Let me see. So what is the next level for you? I know you said you want to reach 1 billion, but what else is there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. The audio is perfect.
Okay, well, let me switch my camera. I was having a little tech. There we go. Okay. So you said, what is the next thing that I want to do? What is
the next level for CTR, or what you want to do personally?
Well, for those of you who may not be following me and you don't know too much about me, I'm what they call, I'm gonna give you some of these little grammatically correct terms that I don't like to throw out, but just so you'll understand where I'm coming from. Okay, in the industry, I'm not only a podcaster and an executive producer on a lot of different TV shows, streaming TV shows and podcasting, but I'm what they call a media relations specialist. And what a media relations specialist person does is that they create the narrative around organizations, corporation, business, and brands. So you will notice that my face is seen on a lot of different people's products and services because I'm an ambassador in the United States. So I do a lot of different things like that, along with communications. I'm a communications consultant. What does that mean? It just simply means that I communicate businesses and owners brands and imagery, and make sure that it's positioned in the right way on social media to create the positive narrative that they desire for their brand, corporation, business. And I've been doing that for a very, very long time behind the scenes. And you will see my face on a lot of people brands. Like, I don't put my face on everybody brand. Let's get that straight. So don't be sending me no Rembrandt stuff and cussing and all that, because I don't do that. But this positivity, like this right here, I don't mind my face being on because it's impacting the world with positivity. And it's not anything that's going to hurt anybody at the end of the day. And so that's why I don't mind wearing her brand and being her walking billboard, because of what Joy stands for. And so when I go out shopping and stuff, I'm gonna be her walking billboard. I'm like, what? This your business? No, this is Be the Difference clothing. It right there. Go back. It's right there. Go get your shirt. Go get a pair of socks. Go get a book. Okay, because I love what you stand for. And so what I want for CTR as a whole is to provide multiple jobs for people remotely. And also, of course, everybody wants me to be in, I have my office, but I don't want a big corporation office. What I want to do is be able to provide more jobs remotely, because it's cost effective to be able to do that. And I can help more people because the overhead is not as bad as it is to run a 2-3 story building. Okay. Not unless I have a sponsor that sponsors a building for me, then that's a whole different situation. But but I want to provide jobs. I want to be able to make a positive impact, and I want the people that are attached to the brand, I want them to be able to go farther and farther than me. I want them to be able to have the leverage and the positioning that they can do whatever they want to do with that particular with their brands, with their voice. I want them to be able to surpass anything that I have ever done. I don't mind for you to shine. I want you to shine. I want you to outshine me, because the best thing that I can do as a coach, as a podcaster, as an educator, is to see my students, see my clients surpass me. When I see that you have surpassed me, I know that not only I did it, but my team as well, we did our job. Or if you don't surpass me, that we got you to do leaps and bounds across what you was when you first came to us, to see the growth. And so people tell me I don't share my stuff enough. I'm just starting to share a little bit of my personal stuff because I just love seeing people win. And I mean, people, it gives me a high to see people win. I just love to see people win, and to know that I had a small part of it, I'm happy.
I know that's right. Well, I really appreciate you for being here. Like, and I learned something new about you. Of course, I've only spoken to you like video wise and twice, but I feel like we've known each other for a little bit though. But I appreciate you for being here. Does anybody else have any additional questions that they want to ask Dr. Tina Ramsay before she comes out, leaves? But one other thing that I do want you guys to know, if you do want to take any of these podcasting tips, tricks, or whatever, you need to go down to this link down here, CTR, like she just said, go to the CTR Media Network. Thank you, BK, for sending that. You can go there and you can go to the store, the media store, and you can definitely go ahead and check out all of that so that you can become a member. You can also find out how you could be a podcaster. And if that's your passion, if that's another way you want to create another stream of income, do it. Oh yeah, look at me right there. Crazy, look at me. But yeah, that's another way.
Go listen, go support, and make sure to like, follow, and share. This is the CTR Media Network. And you can also register to be a guest on other people's shows. Again, the podcaster decide on how they want to do their guests. We don't tell them, you have to do this, that, and the third. It's up to each individual podcaster to determine how they want to run and operate their show. However, we just at this point where we just so happy for people like Joy. Like, we have so many people in the queue right now that want to be on the network. And I'm very type A personality on that, because I want to be able to hear the person, and I'm so super busy. So I want to listen to what their wants and their needs are with the first initial, and then the team can take over from there, because that's how I know how I can tell them to better assist you. That's why I want to talk to you first. And Lord knows we talk like we were sisters. We couldn't even get off the phone. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, so this would work good for her being over here. We can put her here. Her content will work better over here. We can kind of leverage her over there, so that I can know how we as a team can better assist the podcasters on the network. So you're more than likely to talk to me first. Even if it's ain't but 30 minutes. But then after that, you'll be with the team, because I want to know my podcasters. I want to know what your needs and wants are. I want to know your vision. And I'm do everything in my power along with the team to help your dreams come true within our reach, what we can do. I mean, we can't do everything, got to be realistic, but we'll do our very best to make this a enjoyable experience for everyone that's a part of our network.
There's one last question. What do you think of the African concert, I Am Because We Are?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not sure about that, Terry. But anyway,
thank you
for the question, Terry. We'll just have to figure out what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to put you on a solo panel, and you just tell everybody, give them a last encouraging word, how they can reach out to you, where they can follow you. And, if you have anything that you want to share, just do so. So, show us who you are.
All right. So she gave me her whole screen. Oh my goodness. Okay. I thought I just told y'all everything, but just in case you're not familiar with this Southern twang. Okay. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsay. I mean, I'm just that girl that woman that want to see you win. I believe that all of us is born with success. All of us may not fully tap into our level of success, but I believe that all of us are born kings and queens because it's a mindset. I believe that you and I, everyone on the face of this earth that is living and breathing, you have a purpose. You have inside of you gifts that no one else can do. Even though, and one thing I want to debuff right now, I want you to drop this thinking mentality where you feel that a market or a certain industry or a certain niche is too saturated for you. I want you to stop feeling like that, because many times I hear people say over and over again, oh, it's too many people doing that business. Oh, it's too many people podcast, too many people on TV, too many people selling that product. Let me tell you something. The world is never too saturated for you, because even though there might be a million people doing exactly what you do, there is no one that can do it like you. And you are here to help a select amount of people to get to the next level that can only be taught and ushered in by you. We all have an assignment. Now, the goal is for you to figure out what it is that makes you eat, sleep, and breathe life into you, even during the time. Even if I want you to do this right here, I want you to think about something that you're absolutely great at, that you know you're good at. Nobody cannot tell you anything different because other people have even said it too, right? I want you to figure out how you can flip that if you have a desire to have your own business. I want you to figure out how you can flip that and turn it into one stream of income. Then I want you to figure out, I don't care if it's $5, you're still earning something. Then I want you to take that same stream and I want you to concentrate and figure out how you can change that into multiple levels of income. For example, podcasting. It's at least about 12 different ways that you can monetize your podcast. You can charge for guest slots. You can charge for sponsorships. You can charge for advertisement. You can charge for link placement. You can charge for being in magazines. You can charge for being on blogs. You can charge for commercial slot. It is so many different ways that you could take one thing and make multiple streams of income, so that when one area is not doing well, the other areas can carry it through. I want you to drop the mindset that you're too old, I don't have enough education, I don't have enough this, that, and the third. I want you to drop that, because you are here and you are born a winner. You don't need anybody to certify you, because you are already born with the certification. I just need you to tap into it. Don't let anyone stop you from doing what you know that you're here to do. I want you to know that you are worthy. We need you. So whatever it is, even if podcasting is not your thing, even if it's not podcasts, it could be becoming an author. It can be becoming a public speaker. It can be being a singer, going back to school. It could be a truck driver. It could be whatever it is that you want it to be, a hairstylist, whatever it is. I want you to know that the world is not too saturated for you, because you are the original, boo. I don't care who it is. I don't care who's trying to tell you otherwise. You know how many podcasts there are in the world today? And yet this small country town girl from a small town in South Carolina is getting recognition all over the world. Now, if I would have listened to other people, that would have never happened. If I would listen to other people, I wouldn't be in a position that God placed me in to be able to help more people reach their goals, which I'm honored to do with my team. So on this note, if you want to homeschool your child or children, and your child have learning disabilities or what they call special needs, you can definitely do it. If you don't feel confident enough to homeschool your child, that's okay. There are many avenues that you can homeschool your child or children without you even teaching them a subject. It's so many ways that you can actually be a part of tutoring facilitations, co-ops, so many different things that you can do. Go get the homeschooling magazine. Go get the Homeschooling Interactive magazine to be able to help you on your journey, and join our community, because I am the co-founder of one of the largest homeschooling groups for people of color. So join the homeschooling group. Get the support that you need. And lastly, I just want you to start dreaming again. The world is so dark. I want you to be a beacon of light. And I'm not going to get emotional, because I tend to do that sometimes when I'm getting moved, because I'm talking to somebody. I feel that you're listening and you're watching. So I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. So I want you to just walk in purpose and never give up. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it, okay? The world is never too saturated for you. I want you to go ahead and get it done. No more excuses. And I'll see you on CTR Media Network. Make sure you come on over and get with your girl Joy and all the other podcasters.
Oh my goodness, that was dope. That was definitely dope. I was inspired. I was just sitting there like, like, wow. So I really appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to interview you. Thank you for coming on Hello World. Thank you for doing the unboxing. Thank you for just being willing to listen to me in the back end, and for helping me along my way, my journey. To answer your question, Terry, yes, Hello World is on CTR Media Network. Like I said earlier, there's going to be some pre-recorded and also some live footage. We just have to figure out when I could do the lives, but there will be pre-recorded things on there, just my vocals. But I appreciate you for giving me a chance, and I can't wait to grow more and develop whatever other skills I may have. But if you guys want to follow her, please go to CTR Media Network. All of the follow information is there. Thank you guys for being here. Hi, Lennox. Mrs. VSN, how are you? Thank you for coming through. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Savage. Everybody that came through that I didn't get to welcome immediately, I really do appreciate you guys. And Dr. Ramsay appreciates you for giving her time to listen. I hope you do follow what she just said. Dream again, okay? So my name is Joy from Be the Difference Clothing, and this is none other than Dr. Tina Ramsay, and we are signing out on another episode of, you know what, you got to say it with me. I usually say, hello, world. So you got to say it with me. So we are signing off on another episode of Hello, world. Yes. Guys, catch me on all platforms, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.